We're number 8. We're number 8. We're number 8. We're number.
You are Locked On Lakers, your daily Los Angeles Lakers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, thanks everybody for making Locked On Lakers first listen of every day. Brian Kamenetsky, Andy Kamenetsky. Sometimes on weekends, Andy, we drop this show. Particularly, Andy, have you ever seen a fan base more excited to be the 8th best team in a conference? But that is where the Lakers are after an enormous amount of sweat and tears and probably a little bit too much blood. 116-97 is the final score at the Crypt on Saturday, the first part of a crucial back-to-back. The Lakers more than take care of business, and as a result, have moved a half game in front of the Sacramento Kings for the 8th spot in the Western Conference, and are, as we will discuss today and certainly into Monday's show, they're within spitting distance, Andy, of 7, and even 6 is still possible. So this is a very good day for the Lakers.
It is a really good day, Brian. And frankly, I don't appreciate the snarkiness with talking about, oh, they're so excited to be an 8th seed. You're leaving out the whole 12 games above 500 thing.
All of it. But then I'm saying it's
I'm just saying you're poo-pooing this like they've accomplished nothing by all of a sudden, ooh, we're the 8th seed or whatever. Come on, man. Like, they're playing really well right now. Stop being an a-hole about the achievement.
I'm excited. The point is, in normal times, when you do all these things, the Lakers keep piling up wins. They are I believe now the second best team in the NBA since the All-Star break. Maybe even first. Maybe they, like in the last couple of days. I'm not sure. Normally, when you play like that for like 30 games, you're able to have something more tangible in your pocket than just a bump of like 1 seed. And so it is reflective of the situation and the context where how much time have we spent, Andy, talking about how they keep winning and they can't move anywhere. Well, they've finally moved anywhere, and gosh darn it, I'm going to celebrate it.
All right, well, celebrate it like you sound like you mean it. Celebrate it with your chest and celebrate it the way this team played. This was a really professional win against a Cavaliers team that has been slumping, but they certainly have talent, especially now that they've got Donovan Mitchell back. And this was a game that was very controlled by the Lakers. There were a few runs by Cleveland over the process. I thought Darvin, there's always, timeout watch with Darvin Ham among the fan base and the media. I thought Darvin did a really good job of stopping runs before they got out of hand for Cleveland.
Or at least trying to. Yeah, he was quick on the trigger with the timeouts today.
And there was one moment in the fourth quarter that I think really summarized just the Lakers never letting Cleveland gain any type of foothold, but also to Anthony Davis, who had a terrific game, but he re-entered in the fourth quarter with 7:03 left, and the Lakers were up by 10. But there starts this sequence where AD gets an offensive rebound off a Rui miss. Then he uses his wingspan later to force a turnover for Donovan Mitchell. Then gets an offensive rebound of a LeBron miss, sets up LeBron over the top for a bucket at the rim. The Cavs call timeout. AD then, once play resumes, blocks a Darius Garland floater, controls the defensive rebound. Like a minute or so later, there are multiple defensive possessions that end with Anthony Davis and a rebound. By that point, the Lakers are up 16. There's less than 2 minutes left. The benches are emptied. And it's not even just an incredible takeover of a game by AD, but an incredibly complete takeover, like on both ends, every facet, scoring, playmaking, rebounding, defense. Like, it's the type of game that you want to see from Anthony Davis if the Lakers are going to be in the playoffs and if they're going to find a way to make a run from the bottom half of the bracket.
It was, I believe Anthony Davis is 3rd currently in the rankings for the odds for Defensive Player of the Year with our friends at the FanDuel Sportsbook. Jared Allen, who obviously plays for Cleveland, is 5th, and they're all tied. So this was one of those, like, if you're trying to do like a measuring stick type of thing, like this was one of those games that would shoot Anthony Davis up the ladder here. I mean, it was a really dominant defensive effort. It was a really good defensive effort from the Lakers overall. They held Cleveland to 43% shooting, 31% from three. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Garland had 26, but needed 25 shots to get there. He did not shoot a free throw.
And it was very front-loaded, too, for Garland.
Mm-hmm. And Donovan Mitchell only had 10 points on 4 of 13 shooting, and he only got to the line twice. And so the Lakers did a great job there. Good indication of how solid an effort it was defensively. Gabe Vincent had no points on 2 shots and had 2 assists and was a plus 15. And that is because of the work that he was doing defensively as part of that group who really did put the clamps down on Cleveland's guards. And, this was the type of sort of complete game, particularly from the 3 scoring leaders on this team. Davis, I don't want to call them 3 stars, but Davis, Anthony Davis with the 22 points to go along with 13 rebounds. I mentioned the 6 blocks. LeBron, a very efficient 10 of 18, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists, and D'Angelo Russell, 11 of 17 from the floor, 6 of 12 from 3-point range, 28 points. Like, that's really good.
25 in the first half for D'Lo.
Yep. And, and then you supplement that with 18 points from Taurean Prince off the bench. And there was at one point where Taurean Prince and Jackson Hayes and Spencer Dinwiddie and Gabe Vincent combined for 18 points, and they all belonged to Taurean. But it was a lopsided scoring effort for the Lakers bench. But Dinwiddie and Vincent, as I mentioned, really did contribute on the defensive side. So you got the scoring from Prince, and the other guys were still contributing. It was just a good game overall where everybody did something, even if they weren't scoring.
Yeah, I like to with Taurean. He was 7 of 9 from the field, 4 or 5 from behind the arc, but he was also driving to the basket. And we've seen since this move to the bench for Taurean Prince, he's been, I think, varying his scoring much more than he was doing before when he was in the starting unit. And really his sole role on the team in the starting 5 was basically just space the floor, spot up. With this bench unit, I think he does have more scoring responsibilities, and I think he's being looked to do more variety in his scoring. And until like Spencer Dinwiddie gains a comfort zone as a scorer, he had a little bit of a run going and has since gone back to very, very hit or miss. And Gabe Vincent becomes comfortable offensively at all. They're going to be counting on Taurean to provide the lion's share of any type of scoring from guys coming off the bench. So this was a really, really strong game from Taurean.
It was, and continues that super weird stat where the Lakers are undefeated if he plays between 16 and 24 minutes per game. He averaged
like something Darvin could have picked up on.
Well, I mean, in fairness, that's very specific. Like if you play him 14, like people like, why are you playing him so? Like if you play him too little, they lose. Like if Taurean plays 12 minutes,
it's an 8-minute window. Like that's actually a pretty big window.
It is, but my point is, there are a lot of people who don't want to see Taurean play at all, or like he should be playing 5 minutes or whatever, and that's too little.
Those people are just wrong. Taurean should be in the rotation. He just shouldn't be playing 35 minutes.
Right. He should be playing between 16 and 24, and the Lakers simply will not lose. All they need to do is put him out there for that time with get a stopwatch. They'll roll through the finals, according to that number. But it is
a stopwatch with Taurean's face on the watch, if that makes Darvin feel better about the whole process.
I can imagine a game where he's got like 34 points. He's like 11 of 12 from the floor, 14 of 17 from the floor with like 9 3-pointers, but they're getting to like, it's like 23-50 on his playing time and they have to yank him.
There are always exceptions to every rule. It's more just the games where he's at 32 minutes and is 2 of 9 from the field and getting blown by defensively. Those are the games that Darvin probably should have figured out, hey, maybe we look to option B.
So with this win, the Lakers move a half game in front of Sacramento. The Lakers and the Kings are tied in the loss column. The Lakers now move one game ahead in the win column. Kings plays against Brooklyn tomorrow. So that should be on Sunday. So that should be a game that you would think even a slumping Kings team would win. But the Lakers have really put themselves in play for a lot here because they're now only one game behind the Pelicans in the loss column. The Lakers currently do hold the tiebreaker over New Orleans, although that could change depending on how the rest of the season plays out, including obviously the last game of the season where the Lakers and Pelicans play against each other in New Orleans. But if current trends hold, the Lakers, will have the sort of their destiny in their own hands, at least to finish 8th. And possibly to finish 7th. And if the Suns can finally hit that schedule-based slump that we've all been expecting them to hit, if the Lakers win out, they could even catch Phoenix. Because again, the Lakers, as a reminder, do have the tiebreaker over the Suns. So, I mean, it's a lot to get greedy about, Andy, but they are legitimately playing excellent basketball at this point. And, we got Minnesota, who have a ton to play for. They're obviously trying to stay the 1 seed in the West, coming into the building on Sunday. Then you get Memphis.
What I was looking at that makes this really potentially complicated. On one hand, obviously the Lakers want to beat Minnesota. On the other hand, if the Lakers are the 8th seed, it's actually better for them if Minnesota stays at the 1.
It really is. The whole thing is very confusing.
It really is.
Because but the flip side is you could try to thread the needle here and get yourselves into the right seed, and then Denver ends up in the wrong spot.
No. Win out. I'm just saying.
Sure, but you're right. They could be rewarded for all of this winning they could be rewarded for moving up even as high as the 7 you could be rewarded for moving up as high as the 6 the way things are right now and still get Denver in the first round.
It's all very perverse and effed up, to be honest.
It's really not fair. It's not fair at all. But it is, it's just a good trend for the Lakers because all you can control is how well you're playing. Lakers have 4 games left, including Sunday's game against Minnesota. They also obviously have the game against Golden State on Tuesday, then at Memphis and at New Orleans to finish up the season. So 2 very challenging games. The Warriors are playing extremely well right now, although they are getting a little bit closer to being locked into that 10 seed, which, lockingness helps the Lakers in that regard, but they're, the way the Kings are playing, I think Golden State might hope maybe they could catch those guys too. So they'll certainly still be playing hard. Minnesota will be playing hard on Tuesday. Memphis, I'm sure will try to play hard, but it shouldn't matter. And a lot could be at stake when the Lakers play the Pelicans in the last game of the regular season. So plenty to love about Saturday. They started early, which is always dangerous, but since they played so well, everybody gets to enjoy the rest of a long Saturday with a smile on their faces. And the Lakers get a little extra time to recoup before Sunday night's game against the Timberwolves. So we'll bring you more tomorrow, Andy. But first, we must tell people about this.
The Locked On Lakers is brought to you by PrizePicks, the #1 fantasy sports app in America with over 3 million members. The easiest, most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers. You pick more than or less than on 2 6-player stat projections, then watch the winnings roll in. It is demon time right now on PrizePicks. You can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. That's all it could take to turn $10 into thousands. Demons and Goblins are the newest and most exciting way to play at PrizePicks. Squares marked with red demons or green goblins get you different payouts. PrizePicks also offers weekly promotions that can provide big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts selects player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. Plus, it's an excuse to get yourself some tacos as part of the theme. PrizePicks now also offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnNBA. Use the code LockedOnNBA for a first deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks, pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Locked On Lakers also brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. Look, for small businesses particularly, hiring can be a real challenge. You don't have a giant HR department costs money to bring people in. You got to make sure you have the right candidate, but you don't necessarily have tons of resources. So when you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role the first time. And that's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help you find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. LinkedIn isn't just another job board. It is a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire, gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else. And LinkedIn does all of that while making the process easy and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have that many quality candidates to choose from. So easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. LinkedIn knows that small businesses are wearing so many hats and might not have the time or resources to have some sort of gigantic search for people. You got to get people in there quickly. That's why 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring. So post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonnba. That's linkedin.com/lockedonnba to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Terms and conditions that won't apply for tomorrow. We will see you after the game against Minnesota, hopefully celebrating another win for the Lakers.